that we're talking about today happen, they happen in a way that they affect the ability of regions to speak to one another. And nowhere do I see this more so, Madam Speaker, than the cuts we're going to face in Northern Ontario with CBC Sudbury, CBC Thunder Bay. In that market, the CBC Sudbury represents a region that is about the size of Western Europe. To cut 8 out of 16 jobs at CBC Sudbury means that the ability of this station to represent to Canada the multitude of communities that are as far flung as on the shores of Hudson Bay and James Bay, right across isolated communities in the north, that role has been terminated. It is no longer possible for that station to do that job. With the cuts, it'll mean we'll have a morning show or an afternoon show. We won't have both. So let's say we lose the afternoon show at a CBC Sudbury. Well, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, maybe nothing to people in other regions, but without an afternoon show, we now lose the one show that promoted local writers, regional artists, regional voices, so that great performers like Kate Mackey, who built a national name, don't get their start because they're not going to be heard on the local afternoon show. So the local role of Sudbury CBC has been to take an entire region. The other role that CBC Sudbury plays that is absolutely invaluable in our region is that we have a francophone service representing the very, very large francophone population of the Northeast, and we have English radio. And it is the one format where actually the francophone and English populations actually speak to each other. We have programming on CBC North where we have the hosts of the various shows where they speak to each other, so that the English milieu is hearing and understanding what are the issues in the francophone community. When you cut those wires, that conversation ceases. And it has a profound impact. And it draws us back to the fundamental question: what role does a public broadcaster play?